Hey there, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia video. And man, it's been a while since my last review for this show, and I've got to say I've missed it quite a lot. And with Season 6 on the horizon with a release date scheduled, I was pretty resigned to waiting until October to get any fresh content. But that was until I saw that they released 2 OVAs only a couple of days ago, and so, since I don't have any other content to go over, I figured, what the hell, why not? Let's give these bad boys a spin. And I don't regret it. I know that some people really do hate these kinds of things and think they're a waste of time, but I just love them. I prefer this kind of stuff gets released now, in the off-season, as a non-canon special kind of thing, instead of injecting filler mid-season and throwing off the momentum. It just serves to flesh out the world in a fun and unique way, and honestly, I don't understand when people rage against its very existence, regardless of its quality. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get stuck into it. And we'll start by taking a look at the first of these OVAs, which chronicles the fateful clash of titans, the showdown of gods, the championship match of the Heroes Baseball League, featuring the Orcas, led by Gang Orca, and the Lionels, led by Shishido. And according to the narration, this league has been organised by heroes who enjoy playing baseball. But I guess the regular team members were just all unavailable, as Orca and Shishido have conscripted a few pros and their work-study students to play. Some from Class 1A, some from Class 1B, but none of them really relevant. And I gotta say, imagine working all year learning how to be a pro hero, busting your ass in the top school in Japan, getting an opportunity to work with real-life pros on the job as a work-study, and then being told you're playing in a pro hero baseball league instead. And then on top of this, 2 of your actual school teachers turn up and for some reason, instead of helping you, provide commentary of the proceedings. What a world they're living in. Then we get the intro theme, and I gotta say, I did hate this intro theme at first, but Merry-Go-Round has grown on me. I'm gonna mourn it when it's gone. But anyway, after we get back, the epic showdown begins, with the team captains getting up in each other's faces, locking hands, headbutting, yelling, smack-talking, getting really intense about what's essentially a local league baseball match with no crowd and no stakes at all. And whilst I know it's played up to be a bit ridiculous, it also kind of feels realistic. Reminds me of when I was a little kid and there'd be that one dad who gets super intense about his son's team winning the under-8 soccer match. We then meet our commentators, and once again, these are teachers taking time out of their days to come and commentate on a baseball match, commentating for no crowd and no TV cameras, I guess it's just passion for the game. But anyway, they kind of explain the special rules, but it's not like actually knowing the rules of the game matters all that much in this context. We just want to see the hero students get humbled by the pro heroes who are taking the game too seriously. And by God, that's what we get. And so, let's get into the carnage. The match. First up to bat are the Orcas, starting with Gang Orca, with Sugarman pitching. After being told to give it all he's got, Sugarman powers up and launches a fastball and gets hit for a home run immediately. Oh, my boy, Sugarman. He's literally the worst hero in the class. He never gets any time to shine and he gets clapped at every turn. And it seems baseball is no exception. And so in response, Shishido puts him in the torture rack and leaves his beaten body in the dirt, replacing him with Mines as the pitcher. And Mines proceeds to strike out Charge Bolt with ease using his quirk Twin Impact. And of course, Charge Bolt is punished as Orca grabs him by the face and launches him in the air. Tentacle and Cellophane quickly follow him after being destroyed by Mines' pitching, and I very much enjoyed this section. They build up this whole plan of Tentacle using 3 bats to ensure he doesn't fall victim to Twin Impact, only for him to fail within seconds and for him to get destroyed by his captain. Poor dude. And so, we then change sides with the Lionels up to bat, with Tailman going first, with Kamui Woods pitching. And Woods uses his quirk to grab him and get the easy strikeout, before doing the same to Beastie Boy, earning violent punishment by Shishido. And so, the captain himself steps up to the plate. And in case it wasn't already quite clear from his interactions with every single character in the episode this far, he has severe anger issues, and frequently takes them out physically, on his underlings. Whew! Imagine having this guy as your assigned pro for the work study, damn. Anyway, after powering up and destroying the chain prison attack, Shishido KOs Woods with the ball, launching him alongside the ball into Mount Lady, who also gets knocked out and crushes Cellophane, eliminating 3 members of the team despite being caught out. And this is where the episode went from simply being a bit of fun to ridiculous and absurd and yet a work of art. We then change sides again, and Vine and Grape Juice are punished for striking out, which causes Orca's blowhole to start shooting out blood in his rage. But then Jiro impresses Orca by using her quirk to, actually hit the ball. And even though she gets caught out, she gets a pat on the head, and she slightly soothes his hatred. And so he's then able to inspire his team with his fighting spirit. And this allows Mineta to knock Sugarman out of the contest immediately with a pop-off to the balls. Whew! Sugarman is taking L's left and right here. I never thought about it before this episode, but this guy is the most downtrodden of all the heroes from the class. How is he in Class 1A? Poor guy. Mines is then eliminated by the same technique, leaving Mineta versus Tetsu, Real Steel, who thinks the best way to avoid the ball getting stuck to the bat and coming back to hit him is to simply throw the bat at Mineta as he hits the ball, which in turn results in him being disqualified for stupidity and being torn apart by the commentary before Shishido smashes him into the ground. So out he goes and out Mineta goes. Man, they really did my boy Tetsu dirty here. He looked like such a fool. Poor Real Steel. He almost came off looking worse than Sugarman, but not quite. Nobody sucks quite like Sugarman. Orca then comes up to bat and the Lionels put Fat Gum in as their pitcher. And then they try to power up his throw by punching him a lot to get that fat absorption rebound. And hey, how fast can he put on weight? Because this feels a little bit wasteful for him to use up all his stored power to try and win a baseball match. Although, like they said, if he wins, they get free food. So, still, it's such a risk to be taking if you're a pro hero and they're in the midst of a major ongoing villain crisis, right? But no? Baseball takes priority? Okay. Anyway, Fat Gum does his super pitch, and Orca hits it because he's just a Chad. And Sun Eater he's killed trying to catch it. And Orca defeats Mines using sonic waves before he has yet another showdown with Shishido, who tags him out. Meanwhile, Fat Gum has become two-dimensional from using too much energy and collapses, whilst Vine, on the sideline, faints. Shishido takes the mound, and Kaminari steps up to the plate and is immediately killed alongside Beastie Boy, who is on Shishido's team, by a fastball. Also, the umpire robot is seemingly destroyed as well. Jiro decides that this is all getting a bit much for a baseball match and pretends to collapse, whilst Tentacle moves in to bat for the Orcas, and Sugarman returns from his incident with the ball breaker and plays catcher. And then they're both destroyed, rest in peace. And it is only at this point, after the majority of his students have been KO'd, that Eraserhead decides that if things get any worse, he's going to start erasing quirks. Too little too late, mate. And then we change sides again, and it's just Gang Orca versus the Lionels now, and Kirishima steps up. And since he's the only character that's even close to being a main character, he activates his Unbreakable mode and enters into a battle with Wills with Orca and actually manages to knock the ball back and make it to first base, before being swapped out for Tailman so he can go and rest. And then Orca lets Tailman steal a couple of bases until he gets home. Simply because this match has just been a farce. It's an excuse, so the two of them can have their own one-on-one match. So basically, they use their co-workers and children under their care as punching bags and cannon fodder in order to raise the stakes of their 1v1 baseball showdown. But before this can happen, they're interrupted by the arrival of a villain fleeing a bank robbery whom they utterly destroy. And I gotta say, one, that villain got clapped hard. Poor guy. He probably planned that for ages. And two, did he go out and buy his own custom bags with dollar signs on them to put the money from the bank in? Also, isn't this show set in the future, like a couple of 100 years or something like that? Still using cash? Really? Anyway, we then have our showdown, Gang Orca versus Shishido. And Orca does his power pitch, Shishido returns it, but his bat snaps and knocks him out. And the ball knocks out Orca, which means that after all that pain and all that violence, nobody wins. Imagine being one of the students and waking up to find that nobody won the match after all. Oh, and as our two captains collapse, they think about how fun this match has been. Well, that's one word for it at least. And everybody goes home on the train, and they all decide to never play baseball with them again. Except for Tetsu, who's left alone back at the baseball pitch where Shishido had beaten him into the dirt. And now it's night time and there he remains, screaming for help, unable to move. And honestly, I wonder how long he stays there. Do the local kids find him the next day? Do any of his classmates remember he's still there? Does Shishido wake up one day in the middle of the night and think, oh shit, Real Steel's still stuck in the dirt? These are the questions that I need answered. And I'll be honest, coming into this, a baseball special episode was not something I wanted, but now I know the truth. It's something I needed. It was so ridiculous in every possible way, and I loved every second. And considering that next season is going to be super heavy and kind of depressing, this is a nice lead into that. Just something a bit light, a bit silly. But anyway, with all that being said, that's the end of the episode. And I would like to say that these are just my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What did you think of the OVA if you've seen it? You like it, hate it? Curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know.